Get ready for a tale of wits in The Sly Fox and the Smart Cock. A tricky fox meets his match in one very smart rooster.
One sunny morning, Ferdinand, a rusty red fox, crept silently near Farmer McGregor's henhouse. His stomach rumbled with hunger, and he eyed the plump hens with longing. He thought he was being very sneaky, tiptoeing through the grass without a sound. But as he reached for a juicy hen, a hidden trap had other plans. With a sudden jolt, a metal jaw snapped shut around his paw. Ferdinand yowled, now caught firmly in the farmer's clever snare. Ferdinand struggled with all his might, pulling and twisting, but the trap held fast. A sharp pain pulsed through his paw, and fear flickered in his emerald eyes. He looked around frantically, hoping no one would see his embarrassing predicament. The morning air, usually filled with peaceful chirps, now felt heavy with his worry. He knew he had been wrong to try and sneak into the henhouse, and now he was paying the price. Far above on the henhouse roof, Clarence, a proud rooster, stretched his magnificent wings. The first rays of sunshine tickled his multicolored feathers, and he was ready for a new day. He surveyed his domain with his sharp black eyes, making sure all was well. Suddenly, a flash of rusty red below caught his attention, unusual for this early hour. Something was certainly amiss near his beloved hens. With a curious tilt of his head, Clarence peered closer. He saw Ferdinand, the tricky fox, trapped good and proper. A mischievous glint appeared in the rooster's black eyes. Clarence knew he was safe up high, so he decided to get a better look at his old enemy. He hopped down carefully from the roof, his steps light and silent on the dewy ground. He wanted to understand how the Sly Fox had finally been caught. Ferdinand spotted Clarence approaching, and a tiny spark of hope ignited within him. This was a slender, desperate chance for escape, he thought. He had to act quickly, before the farmer woke up. He wiped the pain from his face and put on his best innocent expression. Perhaps he could still trick this feathery fellow into helping him out of his sticky situation. "Dear friend," Ferdinand began, his voice soft and polite, almost a purr, "I assure you I was just on my way to visit a very sick relative." He looked at Clarence with wide, innocent emerald eyes. "Unfortunately, I had a dreadful accident right here. I stumbled into this strange string and got all tangled up, you see." He tried to sound as helpless as possible, hoping the rooster would believe his tale. "But please, my dear Clarence," Ferdinand continued, lowering his voice conspiratorially, "you mustn't tell anyone about this little mishap of mine." He wagged his bushy white-tipped tail slightly, trying to appear even more endearing. "I dislike causing sorrow to anybody, especially the farmer." Ferdinand added, "I am quite sure I can soon gnaw this string to pieces if left to myself." Clarence listened patiently to the fox's elaborate story, his black eyes never leaving Ferdinand's. He watched the fox's tail wag and heard the sweet, deceptive words. The rooster was known for his wisdom and sharp mind, not easily swayed by flattery or false tears. He had seen Ferdinand attempt many tricks before, and this one sounded just as sly as the others. Clarence knew better than to trust a fox. A knowing look crossed Clarence's face. Replacing his thoughtful one, he straightened his magnificent feathers and took a deep breath. Instead of falling for the cunning fox's lies, he decided it was time to warn everyone. With a mighty flap of his wings, Clarence let out the loudest cock-a-doodle-doo he could muster, shaking the tranquil morning air. This was his signal, a clarion call to the entire farm. The cock-a-doodle-doo echoed across the farm, instantly rousing the sleepy henyard. Suddenly there was a flurry of excited squawks, loud clucking and cackling, as the hens understood the warning. They hurried out, gathering around to see the commotion. Ferdinand watched, his emerald eyes wide with dismay, as his perfect plan literally flew out the window. His heart sank as the noise grew louder. Just a few moments later, Farmer McGregor himself burst out of his farmhouse door. He was a kind-faced man, but he didn't tolerate trouble in his henyard. Hearing the commotion, he came running to investigate. His eyes quickly spotted the trapped fox and the alert hens. He knew exactly what had happened and what Ferdinand's intentions had been. Ferdinand hung his head in defeat. His clever lies had not worked, and his plan to steal a meal had backfired completely. Soon, Farmer McGregor carefully but firmly released him from the trap, but Ferdinand was given a stern warning and sent far away from the henhouse, learning a valuable lesson that day about honesty and consequences. He decided then and there that trickery was never the best path. This story teaches us that being tricky and dishonest often leads to trouble. It's always best to be truthful and respect what belongs to others, even when it's difficult. Just like Clarence, who was wise and honest, we should try our best to make good choices every day. Good decisions bring happiness, while sneaky plans can lead to sad endings.
Ever dreamed of being the hero? Now you get to be the star. Your adventure starts at TalesMio. Visit talesmio.com now.